Hi everyone. I know we don't have a lot of time left. My presentation is going to be pretty short. A lot of the points have already been discussed by Ramesh sir and Pansar as well. Before I begin, I'd like to preface it by saying I'm not an expert in anything. I'm pretty young. I turned 20 last month, so I'm very young to all of this, and I'm self-learning as I've mentioned before. I'm not doing any traditional college. I have my own startups, but I'm self-learning a lot of about physics and biology, and I'm just trying to mash up different subjects to see what I can come up with here and there. Um, yes, also I'm not an expert. I'm just saying that again and again because I don't know if you find inaccuracies in what I'm saying, please do correct me because that would be really appreciated. Um, my name is Shubhransh Rai. When I was 17, I started my own animation studio. It, and now today I stepped down from this position of CEO because it was taking a lot of time. But I'm still retaining the position of founder and the founder and CFO of Studio Eclipse. And I'm also the creator of a visual agency. We basically deal with media generation and all of that. Uh, Firstly, before we begin, I'm going to discuss a bit about quantum mechanics, which already has been discussed by Ramesh sir. It's the fundamental theory of physics that it provides the framework of understanding matter and energy on the most fundamental level, right? Atoms and subatomic particles. We've also obviously discussed most of what has been discussed in here, so we're not going to spend more time on quantum mechanics. Obviously, a lot of quantum entanglement has also been discussed. I'm just going to give another one of my own viewpoints, something which Neil deGrasse Tyson's podcast I think did not mention. I think, or maybe it has been mentioned, but I just did not catch it. Is that quantum entanglement doesn't really care about the distance. It can also happen within the span of light years. It doesn't matter. Obviously, the decoherence constant can be a problematic factor, but for example, if two quantum particles are entangled, if two, let's say, two electrons are entangled, whether you keep them light years apart, it's not going to make any difference. If the spins are correlated, if the spins are entangled, let's say the spin of atom A is positive and the spin of electron is negative. So the moment you observe the spin of electron A, if it's positive and it's correlated to the other electron which is negative, the immediate response would be, even if the electron is light years away, it still would be a negative spin. That's the main basic idea of quantum entanglement. Moving on with this topic, introduction to quantum biology. So it's a new field which what it's like a melting pot of physics and biology, right? And it's an emerging field that holds promise for transformative advances in both quantum physics and life sciences. We can use it for a lot of things, such as like a deeper understanding of how biological systems work, and it can lead to major medical breakthroughs as well. So now I'm going to discuss a bit about quantum sensing, as Ramesh sir has already talked about. So superposition is like, obviously we've discussed about superpositions. Particles like electrons and atoms can exist in a superposition of multiple states. So this property is used in quantum sensors to create delicate quantum states that are sensitive to external influences. So in context of something like biological sensing, quantum sensors can exploit superposition to create quantum coherent states that can interact with target molecules or biological systems. So this is just one of the quantum sensing technologies that we can produce in the later. We can also use entanglement, and for biological sensing as well, entanglement can be used to utilize highly sensitive detectors that can react to even the tiniest of the changes in the biological environment. For quantum interference, we can exploit this. We can exploit quantum sensors to amplify small changes in the environment, and quantum interference can amplify the effects of molecular interactions, allowing for even the minute changes to be detected. The other is spin-based sensing. So quantum sensors can also detect changes in the spin properties caused by interaction with the biological molecules, providing information to the system state. The next one would be precision measurement. These are just some of the ways in which you can use quantum biotechnology to actually come up with a lot of medical innovations and medical uh, biological innovations as well. So by using quantum principles as well, the charges that Quantum sensors can measure quantities like magnetic fields, electric fields, temperature, and time with exceptional precision. So, in context of biology, changes in these quantities can be indicative of molecular interactions, cellular activities, or even disease states. The next one, the last one in general, would be quantum metrology. And it's the science of making precise measurements using quantum principles, right? So, quantum sensors leverage quantum metrology techniques to surpass the limitations of classical sensors. This allows them to detect and characterize biological changes that might be beyond the reach of conventional technologies. The next, obviously, Ramesh sir has already discussed this as well. Quantum computing is just a cutting edge paradigm computing that leverages principles of quantum mechanics to perform complex calculations here and there. Ramesh M. Pansar has also given us the task of giving an answer to a simpler answer to why quantum computers can do the tasks which are much more at a faster pace than classical computers, which I'm going to give you an answer to, sir, in 1 month, as good as I can, at least. So, at the heart of quantum computing's power for simulating molecular interactions are its unique position. So, quantum superposition enables different molecular configurations and interactions in parallel, which dramatically simulations is the first thing that can be used for quantum. The next is quantum entanglement. Again, you already know what entanglement is. So, this property can be used to exploit a model complex interactions between atoms and molecules more effectively. And as entanglement allows quantum computers to represent highly interconnected systems with much greater efficiency. And quantum parallelism is basically algorithms can leverage superposition and entanglement to perform calculations on possible solutions simultaneously at a much faster rate. Like a multiple amount of calculations can be done at the same time. So for molecular simulations, it means that quantum computers can explore a vast space of possible configurations much more effectively than classical computers once again. And the last is quantum annealing. So it's like they are specialized computing devices designed to optimize systems, and they help find the lowest energy state of molecules, which is crucial for understanding stability and reactivity. This has I'm going to go over this. This has the potential for a lot of things such as accelerated drug discovery, materials design. We obviously know quantum computing has been used for protein designing and a lot of other stuff, which can be really beneficial in the medical field. It's absolutely innovative, and I'm genuinely so optimistic about a lot of people. So when people question me about stuff, and for example, even in that video, they were like, "In 5 years, can I have this quantum computer in my basement?" Obviously, I'm not that much of an optimist, but I do think in a decade and a half, the way we're going to see life and the way we're going to see civilization itself can has the potential to completely change. Like I think a lot of people are going to be left behind because the very idea of how to live is going to completely alter like every perception that we have currently. And I do think a lot of people are ready for that change, and I don't think a lot of people are ready for that change at the same time. Um, Reaction mechanisms and catalysts. It can help elucidate intricate details and chemical reactions with catalytic processes. It can provide insights into reaction mechanisms and which were previously very difficult to understand actually. It's still in the early stages of due to like technical challenges, right? Obviously, and stabilizing quantum systems is extremely hard. Researchers are still making extremely steady progress, and as this technology ends up maturing, it has the potential to revolutionize our understanding of molecular interactions, enabling breakthroughs in fields that heavily rely upon complex simulations. This is one of the most interesting part of quantum biology would be genome sequencing. So genome sequencing is the process of determining complete DNA sequence of an individual or an organism's genome, which comprises of all the genetic material. It involves deciphering the precise order of the nucleotide bases. So these are some of the nucleotide bases that you can obviously come up. You obviously know they make up the genetic code of any sort of an individual, whether it be humans or any organism. This so The other techniques that we have for this are optimized sequence alliance. So for saying we can align DNA fragments from a specific genome reference, and this can require a lot of computation, right? But with especially for larger genomes, for like a genome of a human being, let's just say, these are very large genomes, and quantum computers, with their ability to process multiple possibilities simultaneously at the same time, could significantly accelerate our sequence alignment by exploring multiple alignment scenarios at once. The next is de novo assembly, which is very, very interesting actually. So, de novo assembly involves reconstructing genome sequences from short fragments or without any reference genome. They don't require any sort of a reference for this. And this process is actually so computationally intensive that no type of a classical computer can ever handle this, and they can obviously benefit a lot from quantum computers' ability to analyze complex combinational patterns. I did a spelling mistake over there. Complex combinational patterns and optimized assembly algorithms. So obviously, the results can be absolutely fascinating from the way we can go about this. Variant calling is not that important, or for the, at least not right now. The next will be structural variant detection. So detecting larger structural variations in the genome, such as duplications, inversions, translocations. These are some of the variations. It's very crucial for understanding genetic diseases, right? Quantum computers could handle complex computational challenges associated with structural variants much more effectively than classical computers again. Um, I'm not going to talk about all of them. Let's skip to the sixth one, which is population genomics. So, analyzing the genetic diversity within population is very essential for understanding evolutionary processes and identifying the risk factors as well. So, quantum computers can help accelerate large scale population genomic studies by processing and comparing genetic data much more efficiently. Let's just say we found the DNA remains of an organism that has gone extinct for 100 million years. Let's just say, I'm just putting a number out there, don't quote me on this. We can essentially use that DNA to run so many simulations again and again and again that obviously I'm not going to say we can replicate the organism again, but we can understand so much more about the organism than we previously did. For example, even right now, a lot of people are saying dinosaurs were nothing the way we actually thought of them. There's a lot of possibility that they actually had fur, and they did not roar, but more like they mimicked sounds of a chicken. So that's how much of a low understanding we have of genetic diversity, at the very least. The next is that the PPT is about to be over. Just letting you know. So the next is quantum nanotechnology and drug delivery. So quantum dots and particles represent innovative approaches in the field of targeted drug delivery. So think of it this way: quantum particles are very own created these artificial sort of robos. They are obviously going to carry drugs to the specific parts of your body. That's maybe not just science fiction anymore. Maybe that can be used in one way or the other. Quantum dots, I'm just going to explain what they are. Due to their size, quantum dots are basically nanoscale semiconductors which are unique optical and electronic particle. They have unique optical and electronic properties. Um, they have obviously quantum dots, due to their size, their fluorescent properties, can serve as imaging agents for tracking the drug delivery processes in real time. So this has a lot of uses in the real world. No matter how you look at it, you can take a picture of this, and if you want, I can send the entire PPT on the group as well, so you can read it over there. And so one more thing, ethical and regulatory considerations that we really need to think about is that when we get into this world of genetic manipulation through using quantum computers, we need to look at a lot of stuff such as ethical concerns from medical fronts. Data privacy is a thing. Any sort of let's say a company which has an access to a very strong quantum computer which can perform a lot of genetic mutations would obviously have a lot of genetic data of not only individuals that are born right now, individuals that have been on this world for the longest time possible. They would have a lot of genetic data, and is it okay for us to trust those extraordinarily huge companies with such genetic data? That's one thing that we really need to focus upon. And there's a lot of other things such as equitable access to quantum technology, because everyone needs to have an overall access to this, to not lead into even greater disparity that we currently already have. Future prospects is just open for the floor. You guys can also participate in this. There's a lot of future prospects that we can think about with and the thing is, when we introduce something like quantum computing to anything, biology, chemistry, just about any subject, you can think about in a way that that subject is going to just exponentially explode, I guess, because there's so many new things that are going to be introduced in that subject that we can't even begin to fathom or begin to comprehend. There's a lot of, obviously, despite these extraordinary achievements that we currently talk about, despite these big talks that we constantly think about, uh, there's challenges such as error connections in quantum systems, algorithm refinement, and a lot of ethical concerns as well, and around the data privacy and all of that stuff. Collaborative efforts among quantum physicists, biotechnologists, medical researchers are imperative to harness the full potential of quantum biotechnology, paving the way for transformative breakthroughs in healthcare and biological understanding as well. So it's very important for us to run fast, but check how we're running as well. We don't want to slip on our own shoes. This is just a quick summary of it. We discussed quantum mechanics. I was about to discuss the double slit experiment, but I took it out during when I was editing it because my PPT was way too long for this. We discussed quantum entanglement, quantum computing, quantum biotechnology, targeted drug delivery, ethical concerns, and the ongoing research as it holds promise in drug delivery, drug discovery, genomics, imaging, and a lot of other stuff. This is me. My name is Shubhransh. Again, Shubhransh Rai. For contact information, that's my number and that's my email. I'm really thankful for all of you. Thank you.